Welcome to my bread series. In these videos, I'm going to walk you through how to make your own sourdough bread at home. Now you can't have sourdough bread without your sourdough starter. And so in this first video, we're gonna talk about how to use, maintain, and understand your sourdough starter. Now, I know that a lot of people feel like sourdough bread and maintaining a sourdough starter can be confusing or intimidating or just hard to keep up with. I'm here to tell you that it's really much simpler than you may think. So I'm going to show you how I use and feed my sourdough starter, as well as how I store it to keep this process as low maintenance as possible. I want you to feel encouraged that you are fully capable of learning the art of making sourdough bread at home. So let's get started. On a typical day, I'll take my starter out early in the morning. I'm gonna go ahead and discard all but a tablespoon. Don't be alarmed by this because I'm trying to show you the easy way of maintaining your starter. So we're not gonna worry about the discard right now. Now I'm gonna feed my starter a cup of flour and a cup of water. If I'm being very precise, I would say feed it a heaping cup of flour and a scant cup of water so that the starter is very thick. You want it to be like a thick oatmeal consistency. Mix it really well and then put a non-airtight lid on top of the jar and set it to the side to rise for the next 5 to 6 hours or so. I fed this starter at 5:30 in the morning, and as you can see, it's quite bubbly now, and it is 11:30 right now. It smells fresh and sweet, which is exactly what you want. You don't want it to be overly sour. So this is a young, fresh starter. So you will find that the ambient temperature of your room is going to impact how long it takes for your starter to rise. And also it matters how active your starter is. Mine is a very vibrant, healthy starter, and so it reacts very well every time I feed it. Sourdough starter is very forgiving. I don't feed my starter every single day, and I don't worry about it when it's been in the fridge 1 week, 2 weeks, or even longer. Sometimes I don't even feed my starter right before I bake, which I know is not the right way to do it, but it does still work. I'm gonna pause here for a minute because I'm excited to share with you the sponsor of today's video. I wanted to take a minute to talk about the sponsor of today's video, Craftsy. Craftsy is an online resource and community for makers, bakers, sewists, and DIY enthusiasts like myself. They offer tons of online classes for you to learn new skills or level up the skills that you already have. I'm personally really excited to check out Sarah Alm's class on fitting sewing patterns, which is all about fitting your sewing patterns and customizing them to your body so that you have a custom garment for yourself, which is something I've been wanting to master. If you've been following me for a while, you may remember that when my kitchen was under renovation, I started making sewing videos. I was creating a handmade wardrobe and documenting the entire process with you guys. And the comments that I got on those videos were some of the most uplifting and encouraging ones that I've ever received. And I discovered that there is an incredible community of makers and bakers and sewists and people out there who are just like me and also find joy in the art of creating. Even my daughters have caught the sewing bug, and one of the things that I love about Craftsy as a parent is that it's a curated platform of creative classes that my daughters can explore without me worrying about inappropriate content or just other things popping out, which can be tricky with YouTube sometimes. One of my daughters got really excited about this class by Stacy Trock, where you can make crochet adorable little animals, and so we're gonna go out and get the supplies for her, and she's gonna start going through these lessons. Right now, Craftsy is offering an amazing deal. The first 1,000 people to click the link in my description can get an entire year of premium Craftsy membership for only $1.49. This offer is for new members only, so if you've never tried Craftsy before, click the link in my description and go and unlock your creative potential. This is a typical week for me, and I have my bubbly sourdough ready to go in the middle of the day, and now I am mixing together some sandwich bread. First, I'm milling some flour. I do like to use freshly milled flour for my breads, but for the starter itself, I use all-purpose flour. This recipe is a really hands-off recipe, and I'll share it in an upcoming video soon. I'm adding my sourdough starter. As you can see, it's very stringy, and that is a good sign. You can see lots of bubbles and activity in there. Now that I've used my starter for its purpose for that day, which was this sandwich bread, I'm gonna leave it out on the counter for the rest of the day and just let it continue to rise and develop so that my starter stays nice and strong. My bread dough is going in the bread machine, and the bread machine will go ahead and mix it and rise it for me. This is just my little mom hack. I love this method for quick and easy sourdough sandwich bread. And then this is at the end of the day. As you can see, I haven't touched it all day, and now I'm back at it. I'm just gonna shape it quickly and put it in the loaf pan, and I'm gonna share this recipe in my upcoming video in the bread series. This is just a simple sourdough soft sandwich bread that my kids love, that I love. We like to make sandwiches with it, and we go through it really, really fast. But as you can see, my sourdough starter is sitting out on the counter. It's been there all day. It's doing great, and I'm done with it. I don't need it now. So tonight, after I take care of this dough, I'm going to go ahead and put the bread in the fridge, and I'm gonna also put my starter back in the fridge. And that's just gonna keep my starter alive and healthy and doing well. The next day, I'll take my bread dough out, set it on the counter, and let it proof for another hour or so while I go about my morning, and then I will bake it, and we will have fresh bread for the next 2 days. During this time, my starter lives in the refrigerator, and I don't need to worry about feeding it or doing anything with it. Okay, now maybe you don't want to throw your discard away in the trash, so this is when you can utilize a discard jar. I generally don't need to do this because I work from one jar. I usually have leftover sourdough starter, and that is my discard that I can use for a recipe, but this is kind of an easier way to always have your discard saved so that you can use it for other recipes. Things like pancakes, waffles, muffins, you may want a discard jar for that. So how it works is the day you want to make bread, you obviously need to discard most of your starter so that you can give it a fresh feeding so that you can use it for the day later on to mix your bread dough. So that's what I have here. This is my freshly fed starter, and the other jar is the discard, which I'll put back in the fridge. I fed my starter at about 6 o'clock this morning, and because it's so cold in our kitchen today, I actually turned my oven on for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then I turned my oven off, and then I put my starter in here so that it would hurry up and rise. So that worked because it rose a lot. It is really big now. So when you're in a pinch, just know that you can change the environment and get your starter to rise faster or slower. All right, so now that I have my bubbly sourdough starter, I'm gonna go ahead and make another loaf of bread, and this time I'm making an artisan sourdough bowl, which is another way of saying it's a free form loaf. So I'm not using a pan. I'm gonna shape it into a nice circular shape, and it's gonna be crusty and beautiful. Usually whenever I make bread, I use between 100 and 200 grams of sourdough starter, depending on the recipe. So that's why when I feed my starter, I only ever feed it 1 cup of flour and 1 cup of water. This makes it so that I don't have an overabundance of starter that I don't know what to do with. I'd rather have a smaller container of sourdough starter, use up most of it, and then stick it back in the fridge and I can worry about it later. I don't need to do anything with it for a few days until I need bread again. So this is how much I have left over. So when I put this back in the fridge and then I take it back out another time, I can use what is remaining for a discard recipe, because usually for discard recipes, you only need about a half cup. And so that is about how much is in that jar. So I can use it up and then give that jar a fresh feeding. So just to show you a comparison, the jar on the right is my discard. So that's been sitting in the refrigerator for a couple of days. So you can use both of these. They're basically the same thing, just the freshly fed starter is going to give you better results for rising your bread. And the discard is going to have a little less rising power and it's going to be a little more sour. At the end of a baking day, I usually dump my dough out on the counter and I'm gonna shape it into a bowl shape and put it into proofing baskets. And then those baskets will go in the refrigerator overnight. And then I will also take my starter that's been sitting out all day on the counter and I will go ahead and put that in the refrigerator. As you can see at the end of the day, the starter will be very bubbly, and that's a good sign. So by putting it back in the refrigerator, I am preserving its health and vitality. So now you may be wondering, but I don't have a starter. How do I actually get a starter? Well, I would actually recommend that you go to your local baker and ask them for a little bit of their established starter. I got mine from a local baker. I'm so grateful for that. I've had it for about 5 years. You can also go online and purchase a dehydrated starter to get yourself going. I would recommend that over trying to make it at home. It's just a lot easier just to take an established starter and go from there. Now, if you feel like your bread is not rising and you're not having success with your sourdough bread, it may be that you don't have a good starter. You want to look for those signs. When you feed it, is it getting bubbly? Is it rising? Does it smell fresh and sweet? You want to see it rising and falling. If you are feeding it and still looking kind of like goopy and not much is happening, it may be that your sourdough starter is not healthy. So the way that you make your starter healthy again is you want to take care of it and give it a few fresh feeds until you bring it back to life. So I would take that starter, if it were me, I would put it out on the counter, I would discard all but a tablespoon, and I would feed it about a cup of flour and a cup of water. This allows the bacteria in that starter to feed on the sugar from the flour, which then produces the carbon monoxide gases, which causes the starter to rise. So you're giving the starter lots of flour, which is the food for the bacteria in your starter. Now let's say you gave your starter a fresh feed. It's sitting out on the counter, let it sit all day. You want to see that it rises and gets nice and bubbly, and then it starts to fall again. And there is a peak moment where it is very risen and bubbly and fresh smelling. That's the best time to use your starter. If you're finding that it's not getting to that point, I would say just do the feeding process again the next day. Let it continue to sit on the counter so it can continue to develop. And then the next morning, try discarding all but 1 tablespoon, feeding it again a cup of flour and a cup of water, and seeing how it reacts. You may need to babysit your starter for a few days until you see that it is responding the way you want it to. Well, I hope this video was helpful for you and that you learned a thing or two about sourdough starter. And more importantly, I hope you're feeling equipped and not overwhelmed about the idea of caring for a sourdough starter. It's very hard to kill. It's very easy to bring back to life, so you can do it. Now before I go, I'm gonna make my favorite snack. You don't know until you try it, and you need to try this. Top level snacking right here. And I'm gonna teach you how to make this bread in an upcoming video, so stay tuned. All right, I wanna eat now, so goodbye.